course, Coach Isler was pretty much the bane of Lee County teams for the 4 years he was in high school. Now he's taken over as the coach, but having a very un-Clovis-like year, if you can call it that, at 3-16. I'm not sure any of us in Lee County really hate to see that record, but that can be a little bit misleading because, they've had some problems, to be sure, and a lot of losses, including to this Lovington team earlier in the year. But a team like this that is used to being good when they're kind of into crunch time, and with district starting for Clovis on Tuesday, they're in crunch time, they can be very dangerous because they've got nothing left to lose.
That's right. They can always be a factor. Clovis can come in, and even in years and in some off years when they don't have that size. It seems like Clovis almost always has size and strength and muscle, and they usually are an aggressive team that plays very assertively as well on the floor. So you can never count them out, and you know that you always have to bring it, no matter what their record is. You've got to be sharp and play your game, and Lovington has to do exactly that with good performances. They need that good team ball from their starters: Adam Aguilera, Tayden Hilliard, Isaac Henson, Joseph Perez, Zadrick Betancourt, spending important time on the court for the team, especially in the last several games as well. Julian Arroyo. I mean, you just you really look at this team and realize that there's quite a bit of talent here. You simply have good athletes who have proven that in other sports, such as football, such as soccer, and then the basketball court, they have their chance to shine as well.
Well, they certainly do, and 11-5 under Coach Casey Pack. About where they want to be. It's been one of the case this year with this boys team. It's kind of they're winning the games they're supposed to, and they're not winning the games that they're not supposed to. Of course, you have to play the games, and you'd like to pick off some of those games that you're quote-unquote not supposed to win.
Right, against the 5A teams, against the higher division teams.
That's the key.
That's the case for them,
It's
really.
been, really the 5A teams and the Texas teams that those 5 losses have come against. So really nothing to be ashamed of there, and it'll be a good test against a traditional 5A power in Clovis here this afternoon to see just where they are going into one more tune-up on the road on Tuesday before district starts on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what this week, this last couple weeks have been all about is really doing the serious tune-up, getting ready for district, because your season always, every game counts, but you really look at district as it's just super counts, right? And every game is going to be so important. So being ready and really ready in all facets of your game is super important for these Wildcats.
Well, it certainly is now. On the other
blue
side,
Wildcats,
the blue
I must
Wildcats
say.
against the purple Wildcats.
And, of course, they're thinking about the same thing, although, with the record that they've got, they're coming into this with slightly different perspective, as you said. They're looking at, they're looking at being able to tune up to try to make their district season a completely new second season for them, for Clovis, right?
Well, they are.
They're going to try that.
Well, they are, and like I said earlier, a team like Clovis is going to be very, very dangerous at this point in the season because, let's face it, the season ends today. They're not in the playoffs. Their only shot is to probably beat Lovington and then go on a tear in their district. Now, easier said than done with Hobbs and Carlsbad being in that district, but at the same time, Lovington wants to say, hey, you know what, we can run with the bigger boys, and we've had some trouble with some 5A teams, but we can pick some of them off. Clovis, I'm noticing as they're warming up, is not as big they are in past years. A lot of times it was, especially calling Hobbs and Clovis games or Lovington and Clovis games, it was size versus speed. Lee County generally having the speed and the shooters. Clovis really just going to get you inside and beat you up. Not going to be quite as able to do that this year. They don't have the size, so Lovington going to need to take advantage of every opportunity that they get down the floor, and a team that physically should match up pretty well with our Wildcats.
Yeah, that's true. For the most part, they have a couple of three, bigger guys where they're going to be able to, really use that, to their advantage. But again, Lovington is looking to use the strengths and the strengths of their team. It's been speed, it's been quickness, and conditioning. Being able stamina, being able to run and gun and stay up, and not constantly substitute in fresh legs. They're able to really, really shine. And again, they have a certain amount of depth to their team as well.
Well, they do, and that's been very important for Coach Casey Pack. As the games that we've seen and called this year, it's not uncommon to have 9 or even 10 guys in the scorebook
Sure.
at the end of a game, and that's very important with district looming. This is your Wildcat pregame show. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back and continue Wildcat basketball on Z94 KZOR and the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. Back here at Wildcat Gym, getting ready for the start of Wildcats versus Wildcats. Lovington against that team from up north that wears purple from Clovis. With Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle, Tiff Stuber in studio engineering and producing as the Lovington Wildcats at 11-5 on the season, taking on the 3-16 Clovis Wildcats. Of course, let's go ahead and run down the rosters. We'll have the starting lineups for you here in just a couple of minutes. For Clovis, number 2 is Brian Weiss. Number 3 is Jet Stone. Number 4 is Luciano Webster. Number 10 is J.J. Jones. Number 11, Manuel Gutierrez. Number 12 is K-Rill Dixon. Number 14, Cash Roberts. Number 20, Isaiah Davis. Number 22 is Jaden Levinshawn. Number 24 is Juan Hernandez. Number 30, Josh Wimbish. Number 32, R.J. Nora. Number 34, Andrew Hall. For your Lovington Wildcats, it's number 3, Adam Aguilera. Number 4, Tayden Hilliard. Number 5, Isaac Henson. Number 10, Mason Enriquez. Number 11, Javier Corrales. Number 12, Joey Villalobos. Number 14, Adam Sanchez. Number 20, Julian Arroyo. Number 22, Anson Marquez. Number 23, Zadrick Betancourt. 24 is Joseph Perez. 30 is DeMarcus Thompson. 33 is Martin Salcido. And number 34 is Zeke Guzman. As the pregame clock continues its march towards zeros, looks like Clovis is going to be in road blacks. They have not taken off their warm-up jerseys. I am certainly hoping it is not black letters and numbers, but we will find out about that. That would be, this is going to be the Lee County in me coming out. That would be so very Clovis. And Lovington in the home whites with the blue letters and numbers as we get ready for the start of this one. The national anthem and the introduction of the teams will be coming up here in just a couple of minutes. So looking forward to this one, and thank you so much for being with us wherever you are in Lee County, West Texas, and around the world on Z94 KZOR, the Z94 app, and on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. So the pregame clock has expired, so get ready for the national anthem. We'll take a timeout and return. This is Wildcat Basketball. And welcome back to Wildcat Basketball here on Z94 KZOR as we get ready for this pre-district matchup between the Lovington Wildcats and the Clovis Wildcats. With Don Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle as the teams being introduced out onto the court. Starting five for Clovis this afternoon will be number 2, Brian Weiss, number 4, Luciano Webster, number 14, Cash Roberts, number 32, RJ Nora, and number 34, Andrew Hall. For your Lovington Wildcats, starters on the floor will be number 3, Adam Aguilera, number 4, Tayden Hilliard, number 5, Isaac Henson, number 23, Zadrick Betancourt, and number 24, Joseph Perez. So getting ready for the tip-off of this one. Final thoughts, Dawn Morgan.
Just ready for this game to get underway.
All right, and so heading out to take the jump, it'll be Tayden Hilliard against Andrew Hall. And Clovis in the black jerseys. They do have dark purple numbers, but they are viewable with a white pinstripe. So ready to go here as the whistle sounds. And the jump ball at center court, and we are underway. And Clovis will control the opening tip-off as Webster has to go all the way back almost to the baseline to pick it up. He'll bring it across the timeline into the Lovington offensive zone. Webster picks up his dribble, tries the give and go. It gets kicked around and goes right into the hands of Betancourt. It'll be a turnover for Clovis. Lovington is back on the run, so give it to Hilliard as Tayden will direct the offense. Little crossover as he gets a screen, tosses out to Aguilera in the right corner. Now back out Betancourt, top of the arc, cycles it left to right, hands it off to Tayden, trying to get a little run room, gets underneath to Perez, who puts up an air ball, and it'll go into the hands of number 2, that's Weiss. That'll be his first rebound of the ball game. Just underway, no score as Nora will control it. Starts into the right lane, picks it up in the right elbow, tosses back out to Roberts, who picks up his dribble now over in front of the Stray Cats. Give it to Weiss. Drives to the left baseline. and he'll just have to toss it back out. Good defense by the Wildcats. Is driving in is Nora, leaves it off on a little bounce pass to Webster. Right now, Clovis just trying to find something inside. Lovington doing a good job keeping them out of there. As Nora will move it over now into the right corner for Webster. Then reset it as Lovington runs it out again. So Nora in front of the Lovington bench as it'll be a bump, goes into the backcourt. It was touched by Hilliard, so no backcourt violation as Roberts will bring it back into the offensive zone, gets stripped away. Second turnover into the hands of Hilliard. Aguilera goes in, and we're going to have a huge collision, and they are going to call the charge on Aguilera. First turnover for the Wildcats, and that'll be also the first team foul on Lovington. I like the thought. I think he'd have been all right if he hadn't tried to pass that at the last second. So back into the hands of Clovis as Roberts will get it in. He'll immediately get it back. Full court presses on for Lovington. Tossing over to Weiss. Going to have to go behind the back. Almost a backcourt violation. Somehow gets it in. And a bad pass and into the hands of the Wildcats again. To a breaking Henson and up and in as Isaac Henson breaks the ice and puts Lovington on the board early 2-0. Full court presses on again with Nora and Weiss in the backcourt now with Roberts. Throw it into the front court, and we will have a foul as Betancourt getting a little wild trying to keep that from coming in. They're going to call the push on Zadrick, his first personal second team foul on Lovington. It will stay Clovis basketball, inbounding it from in front of the Lovington student section on the far side of the court. So to Weiss in the backcourt, starts it left, brings it right in front of the scorer's table and into the offensive zone. Isaac on him, uses up his dribble. Working it around, and it'll be Nora to control. Now back to Weiss to the top of the arc. And over to Webster to the free throw line. Webster will pop the shot from there, won't fall, and the rebound made by Henson. Isaac leaves it off for Aguilera, who starts it up for Lovington. 1-2-2 zone defense for Clovis. Henson, little fake, goes to the left base, bounces underneath. It's loose, but somehow into the hands of Aguilera. Steps back beyond the arc, pulls the three-point trigger, not going to fall on the rebound by Weiss, his second. Weiss will start it back up the court. Tosses to Nora just as he crosses the timeline. Perez picks up Nora, drives in on the left lane. It'll bank it high off the glass and in, and we are tied at 2. So he had the free run in, and he took it. 5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Score tied at 2. Two teams just kind of feeling each other out at this point. To Hilliard, 3 on the way, and it is off the glass and right into the hands of Nora. Nobody underneath to rebound. Nora going to take it himself. Goes coast to coast, pushes it up. Shot not going to fall. Ball loose on the court and into the hands of Henson. His second rebound. Tosses down to a breaking Henson, and Henson to Hilliard. And up and in. Tayden has his first bucket of the ball game. Lovington up 4-2. As Webster brings it back down for Clovis. Wild bounce pass, but Nora will get it between the rings. Directs traffic as he works towards the right side. Hands it off to Webster. Webster works against Hilliard. Now takes it into the low post. Tosses to Weiss, deep left corner as they work it around to Nora. Left wing for 3. And it is off the mark and into the hands of Hall. Now back out top of the arc. Luciano with 3 on the way. Not going to go. And the rebound by Nora. And another 3 on the way from Weiss. And finally a rebound by Lovington as Hilliard gets the rebound, and he's fouled in the process as they're going to whistle that one, I think, on Hall. That'll be his first personal. First team foul on Clovis. So halfway through this first quarter, Lovington up 4-2. As Henson will lead it into the front court with Aguilera. As Aguilera works around to the right side, backs it up, tosses it out to Tayden. Tayden brings it near side in front of the Clovis bench, drives, loses the handle, and it is off of his foot and out of bounds. That'll be the second turnover for the Wildcats, the Lovington Wildcats. Checking into the ball game for Clovis will be Gutierrez. Lovington still with their starting 5 on the floors. Gutierrez will get the inbound from Nora. Gets it right back as those two play catch. Still trying to get it into the front court. Nora throws the fastball, gets it into the front court with Luciano to Weiss. Left corner for 3, and it's good. They left Weiss open, and he made him pay, and that'll put Clovis up 5-4. As Lovington back down, hand it off to Hilliard, to Henson. Left wing for 3, and bang! Isaac Henson with 5 points in the ball game. Lovington retakes the lead now 7-5. Into the front court underneath to Hall in the low post. Puts it high off the glass. No good. And Perez with the rebound. And a whistle sounds as it goes out of bounds and was knocked away by Clovis, as Gutierrez going to argue that it wasn't off him. Generally, arguing with the ref is not a good thing to do. It'll be Lovington basketball as Mason Enriquez will check in. Also, Julian Arroyo into the ball game for Lovington.
Clovis doing a little better job rebounding so far. They're hurting Lovington on the boards, and Lovington is not creating as many scoring opportunities for themselves.
Mason to the front court, gets a screen from Perez, pulls the trigger, top of the arc for three. It is off the iron, and we will have a foul on the rebound as Perez went over the back. So that'll be the first personal on Joseph, third team foul on Lovington, and it'll be Clovis basketball. Lovington up, though, 7-5. Here in the early going, under 3 to play in the first quarter. Here's side to Gutierrez. Lovington on him tight, trying to trap him up. Has to go back door to Nora, and it'll be kicked around, somehow saved by Webster. Webster near side to Nora, into the right corner this time, and a big block by Henson. Henson knocks it away. Weiss thought he had that, and Isaac came out of nowhere and got the ball and knocked it pretty much into the training room.
Yeah, nice block, but also a clean block, no foul.
That is the important thing. To Hall in the left block. They'll give it off to Weiss. Deep right corner for three, and it's good. Ryan Weiss has his second tray of the ball game, and Clovis retakes the lead now 8-7. Enriquez to Perez in the right corner as Hall will pick him up. Backing it out now will be Arroyo. Julian directs traffic. He'll take it in, hand it off to Enriquez. Gets a screen. Top of the arc now to Arroyo. Drives in on the right base. Puts up a little left-hand floater. Not going to fall on the rebound by Nora. Again, no Lovington player in the neighborhood for the board. So Nora hands it to Weiss. Working between the rings. Picking him up is Henson. Toss it out to Hall. Now work it to Gutierrez. To Webster. Back to Gutierrez. To Weiss. A little head fake. Staying on him tight was Isaac. To Nora. Picks it up. Gives it to Webster. Drives in on the right lane. No good. But coming there and flying out of nowhere was Hall with the rebound and the tip in. So now 10-7. Clovis in the lead. Lovington on a bit of a scoring drought here. As Enriquez works against Gutierrez. Hands it off. Henson thinks about the three. Is pinned up in the right corner to Arroyo near side. Arroyo takes it in, pulls up from the left block and puts it up and in. Julian Arroyo's first points of the ball game, 10-9. Lovington trails by a point, 1:13 remaining here in the first quarter. Lovington still with pressure in the backcourt as Nora runs over Arroyo, comes through, finds Webster. A little shake and bake move. It's going to be knocked away. Weiss and Arroyo fight for it. It'll go out of bounds, and they're going to say off of Arroyo. It'll stay Clovis basketball. They'll inbound it from in front of the Stray Cats. And they change it, and it'll be Lovington basketball. So that'll be the fourth turnover for Clovis. Good defensive pressure now for the Wildcats. 1 minute exactly remaining in the quarter. 10-9, Clovis in the lead. Hilliard back in the game. Hilliard, Arroyo, Enriquez, Joey Villalobos just checking in. Joseph Perez staying in. To Arroyo. On the right side to Villalobos to Tayden. Tayden gets it back out to Enriquez between the rings. They'll reset. To Tayden at the free throw line. He works on Hall. Backdoor to a cutting Perez, and he missed the point-blank layup, and it'll be Nora with his fourth board of the first quarter. How do you miss that one? Yikes.
Yeah, well, it hung up on the rim for just a moment.
It did. 10-9, and a travel going to be called on Gutierrez. Fifth turnover for Clovis. So give it back to Lovington with a chance to take the lead. 24 seconds to go in the first quarter, 10-9. Clovis in the lead. Hilliard into the offensive zone to Villalobos in the left corner. Work it out to Enriquez, now to Tayden. Hilliard, little ankle breaker, tosses back out to Joey. Back to Hilliard, long cross-court pass to Enriquez. Give it to Villalobos, deep left corner. Villalobos takes it in front of the Clovis bench, and will reset with Tayden. He'll pull the NBA trigger at the buzzer, and it's not good, but we've got a good one so far here at Wildcat Gym. It's Clovis 10, Lovington 9. We're back in a minute for the second quarter. Wildcat basketball on Z94, KZOR Hobbs Lovington. Back here at Wildcat Gym, start of the second quarter. Clovis leads Lovington 10-9. With Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle. It'll be Lovington basketball as we get this second quarter underway.
And in that first quarter, as far as shooting from the floor, Clovis is 4 of 10, and Lovington is 4 of 11.
So a little under 40% for the Blue Cats, and going to have an offensive foul called. Wow, you don't often see that one as they call Betancourt for a block away from the ball. So that'll be the third turnover for Lovington, and it'll give it to Clovis. And it'll be a foul on Betancourt, his second. Into the front court, Gutierrez goes to the left lane, loses the basketball, but back into the hands of Nora. That one kind of went wild there for a minute. Hilliard on Nora, pretty tight, handed off to Gutierrez as Perez picks him up. They're trying to trap him up. He'll bounce it over into the far side to Webster. Webster takes it in and gives it to Weiss on the far side, and we're going to have a foul called away from the basketball. How can that be a two-shot foul if he was passing it? And I think that's what Coach Casey Pack is asking, too. And they're going to call the block foul on Adam Aguilera. That'll be his second personal. That'll be the 5th team foul on Lovington. And, yeah, they did change it to say, okay, he wasn't in the act of shooting. High inlet pass to the low post with Hall, who's just going to have to toss it out. Lovington's done a nice job keeping Clovis out of the paint for the most part. And we're going to have a travel by Weiss, and so that'll be the 6th turnover for Clovis, so give it back to Lovington. 10-9 still our score. Clovis in the lead as Betancourt will inbound it from in front of the Stray Cats. He'll get it to Adam, who's just going to walk it across the timeline. Now near side to Henson. Henson to Hilliard at the free throw line. Pop the shot from there, in and out. And the rebound going to be made by Perez, his second. Reset it to Henson, picks up the dribble, slings it out to Aguilera. Thinks about the three now, gives it to Henson, top of the arc. Three on the way, and that one is going to be off the mark, and the rebound off the tip by Aguilera. Lovington resets on the offensive side.
Good offensive rebounding, though.
Yes, it was. Give it over to Henson, inside to Perez on the left base, to a cutting Hilliard, who puts it up and in. Tayden Hilliard comes through traffic. Might should have gotten fouled, but he gives Lovington the lead back 11-10. 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Into the front court comes Webster. Bounce underneath to Hall, and he will miss the point-blank layup. And the rebound by Perez.
A good one again.
Feed it forward, and a bad pass stolen away by Clovis as Nora comes back. He'll take on Hilliard, and Nora gets the better of that one. He's got his 4th point of the ball game. 12-11. Clovis retakes the lead. A back-and-forth first half. Aguilera controls, now to the free throw line with Betancourt. Give it off to Tayden, now to Perez, who takes it into the left corner. Perez to Hilliard, right corner for three, and that one is going to be in and out, and Hall will have his 3rd rebound. Feed it forward to a breaking Webster, who takes it off the left glass and up and in. They left him wide open, and Webster has his first bucket of the ball game, 14-11, and we're going to have a floor foul called as Aguilera started his drive back the other way. Lovington trying to push the pace a little bit, and I think that's a good thing. They're going to call Webster for the push foul, his first personal. That's just the 2nd team foul on Clovis. This has really been a pretty clean first half. So Lovington basketball, inbounding it from the baseline. Tossing it is Aguilera to Hilliard, back to Aguilera, and Adam with a point-blank shot, and he's not going to miss that one very often. Lovington cuts it back down to a 1-point Clovis lead, 14-13, 5.5 remaining here in the first half. To the front court, back into the game is Roberts. He has it over on the far sideline. Lovington tries to trap him up to Gutierrez, who's going to direct traffic. Perez giving him a little bit of room. Gutierrez is not the best ball handler, and Perez will knock it away. That'll be the 7th turnover. It's back into the hands of the Wildcats, the Lovington ones. So Aguilera to Betancourt, and a kind of a sloppy pass knocked away by Webster, who was looking to take that one away. Betancourt will check out, and Javier Corrales will check in for Lovington. Lovington basketball as Aguilera inbounds it. Gets it right back from Hilliard. Hilliard cycles around to the right side. Adam going to direct traffic from between the rings. 2-3 zone look on defense for Clovis. Bounce pass to Corrales. Now back out to Tayden, near side to Aguilera. Aguilera to Henson, now back to Adam. Bounce it into the lane underneath to Perez. Banks it off the glass and misses another point-blank shot. And Nora has his 5th rebound of the first half. As that'll be Weiss, controls into the front court to Nora, near side to Gutierrez. Now back to Weiss. Got to keep somebody on him. He is deadly from the corners to the free throw line, and he has it knocked away. That'll be another turnover forced by Lovington. They need to take advantage of him. To Corrales, has trouble controlling it, gets it to Perez. The little hook shot, and Joseph finally gets one to fall. And Lovington finally gets the lead back 15-14 at the halfway mark of the second period.
Yeah, they're shooting 3 of 7 so far in this quarter.
So about their average, a little over 30%, and we're going to have a foul called away from the basketball, or they say backcourt. I didn't see it, so yep, I guess it was a backcourt violation, or was it a timeout? So it'll be a timeout. So a 30-second timeout by Lovington. We'll just keep it right here and say a big thank you to everybody who makes Wildcat basketball possible, including Stone Oilfield Services, Eunice Pump and Supply, the Lovington Schools, Now Pharmacy, Lee County Electric Cooperative, Bob's Thriftway, and Norley Hospital. With Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle. Tiff Stuber in studio engineering and producing. Lovington up 15-14 in what's kind of been a back and forth affair. It's moving quickly, but neither team has found a whole lot of offensive rhythm yet, Dawn.
It's interesting. Clovis has taken 2 shots at the basket in this quarter. They've made both of them. They have not taken it. They have not missed any from the floor. But Lovington, again, is shooting, 3 of 7 so far. So they've created many more looks for themselves at the basket in this quarter.
Lovington has forced 3 turnovers on Clovis in this quarter, which may have a little bit to do with that. Aguilera to Hilliard. Tayden working against Nora. Bounce it out to Henson. Henson against Gutierrez. Isaac takes it into the right. Blocking off the glass and good. Isaac Henson with 7 points. Leads the way for the Cats, and they're up 17-14, 3 points, their biggest lead of the ball game. Back and forth affair, Webster to Nora. 3.5 minutes to go first half. Back to Webster near side. Cycles it to the top of the key, then back over to Nora. Throw the fastball inside to Roberts. Now into the right corner to Webster. To Weiss, top of the arc for 3, and that one is good. He's got 3 trays in the ball game, and that'll tie this one up at 17 apiece. 3:09 to go here in the first as hippity-hop through the lane as Aguilera misses the point-blank layup in a fight for the rebound, and the jump ball will go to Clovis as Gutierrez got in and tied up Perez. So it'll be Clovis basketball with 3:03 to go first half. Lovington and Clovis here at Wildcat Gym. The Clovis's final pre-district tune-up. Lovington will have one more on Tuesday in Chaparral. Gutierrez gets the inbound. Hilliard on him. Aguilera picks him up. Kind of an ugly pass as they'll give it to a cutting Webster now into the right corner, and we'll have a charge called underneath. Is a nice job by Joey Villalobos, who came in and absolutely got steamrolled by Webster. That'll be Webster's second personal, just the 3rd team foul on Clovis, but it is their 9th turnover, and more importantly, it gives Lovington the ball back. As Isaac Henson will check out, back in will be Julian Arroyo. Hilliard, Aguilera, Arroyo, Villalobos, and Betancourt on the floor for Lovington. Clovis putting on a little pressure here. Bad pass, but Arroyo gets it. Tosses to a backdoor cutting Villalobos, and Joey lays it in off the left glass with the left hand.
Yeah, a really nice assist, though.
Yes,
Good
it
feed.
was.
Yeah.
Full court press on for Lovington, getting it into the front court. They'll toss it to Weiss, deep right corner. Now toss it out to Nora. Adam will give him just a little bit of room. Lovington up 19-17. With Weiss, Tayden will cycle off on him, throws it into Nora, who wasn't paying attention, saves it in, but right into the hands of Betancourt. It's another turnover for Clovis. Feed it down to Villalobos. Pull the 3-point trigger, in and out. Rebound by Arroyo, and his putback is up and in. Arroyo with 4 points. 21-17, 4-point lead for Lovington, their biggest of the ball game, with under 2 to play in the first half. Nora to the front court, uses up the dribble, gives it to Weiss in front of the Lovington bench. Weiss will get it back as they're just going to play ring around the arc at the moment. Now to Gutierrez near the timeline. Julian picks him up, chases him into the deep left corner where they try and trap him up. As Nora going to save it, but
yeah.
stepped on the baseline. 11th turnover. Great defensive pressure by Lovington, Dawn.
Yes, excellent. Lovington really has stepped it up in this second quarter especially.
And so now Mason Enriquez will check back into the ball game, and he'll get the inbound.
And Clovis has taken 3 shots at the basket and made all of them, but that's all they've taken.
But Lovington has forced a whole bunch of turnovers to
Yes.
Villalobos. And nope, that'll be a turnover as knocking it away, and they'll get it to a breaking Weiss, who lays it up and in. Weiss now with 11 leads all scorers, but he's done most of the damage for Clovis. 21-19, Lovington in the lead. At the free throw line, Arroyo. Left corner for Villalobos. That one is off the mark. And the ball bounces around, still loose on the floor, still loose on the floor, still loose on the floor, and somehow Betancourt will come away with it, but throws it away. So it'll be a rebound for Lovington, but also a turnover. And they're going to call Villalobos on the push foul. His first personal, 6th team foul against Lovington. 1 minute exactly remaining here in the first half. 21-19, Lovington in the lead. Weiss to the front court, uses up the dribble. Nice job by Enriquez. Coming back to help him out is Webster. Takes it into the right lane, and he'll lay it up and in, and we are tied again. Webster 4 points in the ball game. 45 seconds, nifty little move. Tayden to the front court, tries to give it off to Villalobos. Why didn't he take it himself? I like the moving the ball around, and a bad pass by Enriquez trying to get to Betancourt on the baseline. That'll be the 7th turnover for Lovington. Give it back to Clovis, all tied at 21 with 32 seconds remaining first half. Bounce it off to Gutierrez, who kicks it into the front court. Now they don't call the kick ball on him. And he'll give it to Nora. 22 seconds to go. Nora drives into the right lane, and he's going to get fouled on the floor. He'll go to the line. That will put Clovis in the bonus. Foul going to be a hack on Villalobos. That'll be Joey's second personal. 7th team foul, so R.J. Nora will go to the line for the 1-and-1. First time either team has gone to the line in this ball game, and it comes with 18 seconds remaining in the first half. So R.J. Nora at the line as Hall prepares to check back in. Hall will come in for Clovis. Got Betancourt, Hilliard, Villalobos, Arroyo, and Enriquez on the floor for Lovington. Nora at the line, puts up the front into the 1-and-1. It is off the mark, but somehow Weiss will get the rebound, his third, and he will turn around and put it back up and in. Weiss has done most of the damage, and he gives the lead to Clovis. And a bad pass, and it'll be a turnover into the hands of Clovis. Gutierrez to Weiss, deep left corner, pushes the 3-ball up, and it is good. His 4th tray of the first half makes it 25-21, and at the buzzer off of the rim. So, wow, this has been an exciting first half. Right now going in the favor of the Clovis Wildcats, 26-21 over the Lovington Wildcats. We're back in 3 minutes for your Bob Swiftway halftime show here on Z94 KZOR. Welcome back to Lovington Wildcat Basketball here on Z94 KZOR and the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. It's your Bob Thriftway halftime report with Dawn Morgan. I'm TJ Miracle, Tiff Stuber in studio engineering and producing. Clovis in the lead, 26-21 at halftime. Let's take a look at the numbers in this one for the Purple Cats. It has been the Brian Weiss show, 16 points, 12 of them coming via the three ball. 4 points in the books for Luciano Webster, 4 points for R.J. Noah, and a bucket for Andrew Weber. Right now, Noah is the leading rebounder for Clovis. He has 5 of them. Clovis collectively, as a team, 11 rebounds in that first half. They went 0 of 1 from the free throw line, turned the ball over 11 times, scored 10 in the first, 16 in the second. A lot of those coming very late in that second quarter, and that's how they get to their 26. Turning the page for the Lovington Wildcats. Leading scorer right now is Isaac Henson. He's got 7 points in the books. Tayden Hilliard with 4. Julian Arroyo chipping in with 4. Then you got a bucket from Adam Aguilera, a bucket for Joey Villalobos, and a bucket for Joseph Perez. Perez right now leads the Lovington rebounding charge. He's got 3 in the books. Lovington with 9 rebounds in that first half. They did not shoot a free throw. Turned the ball over 8 times, scored 9 in the first, 12 in the second. And that's how they get to their 21 on the board. 5 of those points for Clovis came from Weiss with under a minute to play in that second quarter, and they came off of 2 of Lovington's turnovers. So turnovers costing the Cats big, but Clovis pretty hot shooting too, which isn't helping, right?
Yeah, amazing. Clovis in that second quarter, they took 7 shots from the floor, not including the free throw. They made 6 of them. They were almost perfect shooting in that second quarter. So, yeah, 6 of the 7 shots they took from the floor fell, and 2 of those were three-pointers. So, in contrast, Lovington took 12 shots at the basket in that second quarter. They made 6 of them, and they were all 2-pointers. So they were exactly 50% shooting from the field in that second quarter. Again, fewer turnovers, but they had more turnovers. They only had 3 turnovers in the first quarter, and they had
2, yeah,
and then many more, and ending up at 8 turnovers after the end of 2 quarters. And whereas Clovis turning the ball over just a little bit more, and Lovington was able to capitalize on that a couple of times, but not every time, certainly. So Lovington shooting not as hot, but they're taking more shots at the basket, but Clovis is really, when they take shots more often than they're making them. When they take them, they're making them.
Yeah, they certainly are, and not much you could do in taking advantage of some of those Lovington turnovers late, as we mentioned, which, Weiss is deadly when you get him in one of those corners. I think he's maybe have missed 1 attempt from those corners.
Right.
So
they're 10 of 17 shooting from the floor, again, not counting the free throw.
Yeah.
That's Clovis. So, so it's pretty amazing. And Lovington is 10 of 23 from the floor. Right.
Well, I'm thinking keys to the second half for the Wildcats. I'm thinking keep somebody with a hand in Brian Weiss's face.
Yeah,
I'm thinking make somebody else that's wearing purple beat
have to step up. That's right.
Because now Weiss has been really everything for the Clovis Wildcats. For Lovington, they've got to find some consistency on the floor. They've done very well on defense. They're forcing turnovers. They're playing tight defense. They're doing a nice job keeping the Clovis bigs out of the paint. But they don't have, when they're coming down, a lot of times they're just taking a pop-a shot and they're not getting the rebound. The 11-9 doesn't really tell the story in rebounding because it sounds very close.
But it's really not, because Lovington did a better job with offensive rebounding in the second quarter than they did in the first. A better job, but still they're not giving themselves, enough looks. That's right. That's true.
Yeah, all you need sometimes is an opportunity, and having a little bit of trouble picking those up. So we'll see what adjustments Coach Casey Pack makes, and what's going to happen in the second half, I don't know, but it's going to be an entertaining one to be sure. 26-21, Clovis in the lead. Lovington Wildcat basketball continues in 90 seconds with the second half. This has been your Bob Thriftway halftime report on KZOR. Back here at Wildcat Gym, Lovington Wildcat basketball returns here on Z94 KZOR and the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. I'm TJ Miracle alongside Don Morgan, Tiff Stuber engineering and producing. It'll be the starting five for the Cats, the Lovington Wildcats: Aguilera, Hilliard, Henson, Betancourt, and Perez. Looks like it'll be the same starting five for Clovis too: Weiss, Webster, Roberts, Nora, and Hall. Lovington basketball as we get this second half underway. Lovington trails by 5. 26-21, top of the arc. It'll be Hilliard up and in, no good. Rebound by Perez. His putback won't fall, and it'll be Nora coming down with another rebound. Into the front court, Webster gets trapped up, and it'll be stripped away. Lovington basketball to a breaking Aguilera, and Adam lays it up and in. Aguilera with 4 points, and Lovington will break the ice on this second half. 26-23, down to a 3-point lead for Clovis. Weiss just drives through, puts it up high himself, and he's going to get fouled. They're going to call the block foul, as underneath was Henson trying to get the charge but was shuffling the feet. That'll be the first personal on Isaac. That'll be the first team foul. And it'll put Weiss at the line to shoot 2. So we had almost no free throws in the first half, and just like that in the second, we have them. And Weiss will put up the first, and it's good. 27-23 now. Clovis in the lead by 4. As Weiss makes the first, he'll eye the second. Up on the front, it'll be Betancourt and Perez. Henson and Hilliard in the second set. Second shot on the way for Weiss, and he gets them both. He's got 18 points. He's done most of the damage for Clovis. Clovis going to go a little full court press as Betancourt on the far sideline tosses back to Aguilera. They'll bounce it to Tayden, to a give and go to Aguilera, but short arms it. Ball going to be popped loose, and finally Adam going to control his own rebound. That'll be his second. That's just hustle to Henson. To Betancourt, but not paying attention to it, and it'll be a turnover, and it'll be Nora who will take it himself, but missed a point-blank layup, and Perez that was Betancourt, his second rebound. And back down the other way, and just trying to play too fast. Lovington will have their 10th turnover. Just got away on that pass. Take a deep breath, boys. So Weiss gets picked up just as he crosses the timeline by Aguilera. They try and trap him up to Nora. Bounces it, but right into Isaac Henson, as Isaac will give it off to Aguilera to the free throw line. Pop the shot and good. Adam Aguilera deadly from inside 10 feet. Has 6 points, 28-25. 6.5 to go in the third. Webster to the front court, takes about 83 steps, puts up a wild shot, and winds up in the hands of Isaac Henson, who gives it to a breaking Tayden Hilliard, and Tayden will lay it up and in and count the bucket and the foul. Weiss tried to get the charge but was still moving the feet, so that'll put Tayden at the line for 3 the old-fashioned way. And a chance to tie the ball game, 28-27.
I like Lovington has come out with a lot of hustle. And
one is up and no good, and the rebound brought down by Roberts.
A lot of press and pressure here in this third quarter.
Yes, they have. Roberts needs some help, that's Nora needed some help, and a push going to be called on Henson across the floor as he and Webster were going at it like a couple of, well, for lack of a better word, Wildcats. So second foul on Isaac, second team foul on Lovington in the half. Roberts to inbound, has to toss it into the backcourt to Webster. Webster going to cross the big cat at center court and immediately gets his pocket picked, and coming over is Henson, and up and in for Isaac. He's got 9, and Lovington is back in the lead, 29-28. As Weiss will work against Hilliard, gets it into the front court, uses up the dribble, a little jump pass. Now to Roberts at the free throw line, gets the ball batted, but right into the hand of Weiss.
Yeah, Henson knocks it away.
Nice job by Henson as they'll reset it. Over to Nora, drives in, nifty little move as he goes into the paint and puts it up and in.
That was nice.
That was pretty. Credit where credit is due. Clovis back up 30-29. To Aguilera, right wing, 3 ball on the way. That one is going to be short. Ball is loose, and Betancourt will rip it away from everybody. Feed it through to Adam, and he'll drive on the left lane and be fouled. He'll go to the line for 2, and they're going to call Weiss on his second personal. Second team foul on Clovis.
Yeah, Adam really trying to get that shot up. Too bad it hit the rim just straight on and bounced instead of going in. But we'll take the foul and the chance.
Adam short arms the first one. Lovington has had their struggles from the line this year, only about 50% from the free throw line, and today collectively 0 for 2 and trailing by a point, 30-29. So Adam misses the first. He'll take care of the second one, and that one is going to be off the mark. And Hall with the rebound for Clovis. And going to be a bump foul called on Aguilera as he ran into Roberts, who put the brakes on just as he crossed the timeline. Adam has picked up his third personal.
Yeah, ouch.
And that'll be the third team foul on Lovington. Checking into the ball game will be Isaac Henson. He'll come in on the next stoppage. So Weiss in the backcourt. Little jump pass over to Roberts, who gives it to Nora. Tayden will pick him up. He and Nora work on each other. Nora lucky to get rid of that one before travel got called. And the near side, Webster back to Nora. Drives in, hippity-hop through the lane, puts up the point-blank shot. No good, but the rebound is there. Hall with the putback. He's got 4 points to go along with 5 boards. 32-29. Lovington went on a run to start the quarter. Now Clovis has controlled the middle portion to Aguilera. Gets trapped up, now over to Arroyo. Nifty little move, but puts it too high off the glass. And Roberts with the rebound to a breaking Weiss. Feeds through, takes 4 steps, no call. Puts up a shot, no good. Gets his own rebound, and then the rebound will be made by Aguilera. That'll be Adams' third. Adam to Arroyo. Give it off to Hilliard. Tayden underneath to Perez, who puts it off the right glass and in. Joseph with 4 points in the ball game. 32-31. Lovington still trailing by a point. Weiss to the front court. Dangerous bounce into the middle to Webster. Tosses around. Weiss thinks about it. Adam picks him up quickly, comes in, and he is going to get fouled. And they're going to get Adam going over the back, I think.
Yep.
Or are they going to call that one on Tayden? That'll be the question, as they're going to talk about it. And they're going to say he was in the act of shooting, and they are going to say that is a hack foul on Adam. So that'll be his 4th personal, 4th team foul. And so at the line will be Weiss to shoot 2. Adam going to have to do some serious sitting here, as Weiss will rattle that one home. He's got 19 of the 33 in the books. So one more.
Yeah, and it looks like a Henson. Well, no. For now,
Villalobos has gone
Aguilera's
in
there,
for.
but
Yeah, Aguilera has just come out. Villalobos has come in his place. So Weiss at the line made the first. Will I the second. We are right at the halfway point of the third quarter. It's up, and that one off the mark, and the rebound by Arroyo, his second. 33-31, a 2-point lead for Clovis. 3:50 remaining. Tayden to the right elbow, gives it to a breaking Perez, and Joseph found a little seam and took it to the rack, and we are tied at 33. Pressure is on. Webster near side to Nora. Nora gives it to Hall, around to Webster. Webster to Weiss. Tayden picks him up, gets a screen from Nora, uses up the dribble to Roberts for 3, and that one is off the mark, but Nora's there, but he is going to be blocked out. Nice job there by Perez to block him and force the turnover. Back down come the Wildcats to Villalobos, to Arroyo. Nifty little spin move. Toss it back out to Joey. Pulls the right wing 3-point trigger and bang! Villalobos with the tray ball. Keep shooting them, young man. Eventually one will go, and it did. 36-33. Lovington up by 3. Webster for 3 the other way. That one no good, and Joey with the rebound, his first. Villalobos leaves it off of the backcourt. Tayden Hilliard will bring it across the timeline to Arroyo, to Henson for 3, and that one is in and out, and that rebound by Roberts, his third. Roberts to Nora, who brings it into the front court, uses up the dribble, needs some help. Gonna have to toss it wide to Weiss. Weiss will get it under pressure from Arroyo, then bounce it to Roberts in the right corner. 36-33, Lovington in the lead. Weiss directs traffic, works against Arroyo, spins at the top of the arc, almost loses the basketball, will bounce it inside, and we're going to have a foul called and wave off the shot. It happened on the floor. And they're going to call a block foul on Isaac Henson. That'll be Isaac's third personal, 5th team foul on Lovington.
And all 3 of those fouls on Henson have come in the second half.
Yes, they have. So Henson going to have to check out. Mason Enriquez will check in. And it is on the floor. A little bit of discussion there. So Webster will inbound it from left of his own bucket. Still Clovis basketball. 2:22 remaining here in the third quarter, a 3-point Lovington lead. So it'll be Webster to inbound, high inbound, gets it to Nora, who tosses inside. It'll be tipped away. Ball still loose on the floor, and somehow Clovis will get it back with Nora. He drives in, goes to the lane, leaves it off for Weiss in the deep left corner as Isler barks out instructions from the bench, and we're going to have a 5-second violation on Clovis. That'll be their 16th turnover. Good pressure again by Lovington. They couldn't get it out of that little zone. And so that'll be their 16th turnover. Lovington with the basketball back, a 3-point lead. Villalobos swings it to Enriquez, bounce underneath to Betancourt, misses the point-blank layup. And it'll be Weiss with the 5th rebound of the ball game. So Weiss back down, a minute 48 to go, a 3-point Lovington lead. Give it to Hall, swings it back around, and Tayden will knock it away. Back down comes the Wildcats as Hilliard lays it up and in. Hilliard now with 8 points in the ball game. It's 38-33. 5-point lead for Lovington, ties their biggest of the ball game. To the front court, Gutierrez, and a foul going to be called as they call Mason Enriquez on a bump, I guess. That'll be Mason's first personal, 6-team foul on Lovington. And so the next foul will put Clovis in the bonus. I'm not sure you want to make it a free throw shooting contest here. And we're going to have a foul on the inbound on Tayden. He went over the back of Nora. Let's see for sure. Yep, they're going to whistle that on Tayden Hilliard. His first personal, 7th team foul. And so for the next 9.5 minutes, Clovis is shooting free throws on every single foul. Yikes. So R.J. Nora at the line to shoot the 1-and-1. He is 0 for 1 from the stripe. Lovington up by 5, 38-33. 87 seconds to go here in the third. So Nora will bend the knees, puts up the front end of the 1-and-1, and it'll rattle home. He's got 7 points, 38-34. Still a 4-point Lovington lead. But Clovis going to have a chance to turn this into a free throw shooting contest, at least on their end of things. Lovington going to have to be very careful. Nora got the first, puts the second up, and that one is off the mark, and Betancourt with the rebound, his 4th. Zeke to Arroyo. Now give it off to Tayden. No look pass to Enriquez. Right corner. Gives it to Arroyo. Little spin move. He works against Nora. Has to push it back out to Enriquez. Mason around to Joey in front of the Stray Cats, far side. Bouncing a bad pass and into the hands of R.J. Nora as Arroyo comes down and blocks him out. Couldn't get in front of Nora, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2 for Julian. That'll be his first personal. That's the 8th team foul. And so back to the line is R.J. Nora for 2 more.
And that wasn't so much a bad pass. It was just a good steal. I mean, the pass was right on, but Nora earned that. He just flew out. He was giving good coverage, and he got it. He swiped it.
First one is up for Nora and good. Yeah, credit where credit is due, to be sure. As Roberts will check back in for Hall.
Now, Tayden Hilliard also had his own great steal
He
just
did.
just a couple of minutes ago. So, these teams are they could both come to play today, and it's pretty even so far.
38-35, 1:05 to go in the third. Nora at the line, made the first, puts up the second, and gets them both. Checking into the ball game will be Javier Corrales for Lovington. He'll go in for Julian Arroyo. So Betancourt, Hilliard, Enriquez, Villalobos, and Corrales on the floor for Lovington. Gutierrez, Weiss, Nora, Webster, and Roberts on the floor for the Wildcats of Clovis. Full court press on for Clovis. Betancourt back to Hilliard, back to Betancourt, into the front court as they try and trap him up, and the ball off of Zadrick's foot. That'll be the 12th turnover for Lovington. Back into the hands of Clovis, under a minute to play in the third. Lovington hanging on to a 2-point lead, 38-36. Weiss to Gutierrez in the front court. They trap him up, ball loose. Nora somehow comes away with it. How many of those does it happen? Wow. And he's going to get fouled as he tries to go through the lane and split some Wildcats. Yeah. He'll go to the line, and they're going to call the hold on Javier Corrales.
An almost steal by Mason Enriquez. Lovington again being quick is not the same as being fast, and Lovington's both actually.
And so it'll put Nora back at the line to shoot the 1-and-1. The Royal check in for Corrales. Nora with 9 points. Can give Clovis at least a tie here if he gets both ends of the free throws. It's up the front end of the 1-and-1, and that one rolls home, cuts it down to a 1-point Lovington lead. 38-37. Lovington getting to be in a bit of foul trouble as Joseph Perez comes in for Zadrick Betancourt. 10 points in the ball game for R.J. Nora.
Clovis shooting 3 of 7 from the floor in this quarter so far, not counting free throws.
Yeah, their free throws, I'll count them in a minute, and we're going to have a lane violation, and it was on Clovis, so it'll be no good. Yeah, for Clovis, they are 7 of 8, 9, 7 of 10 from the line, and we're going to have a foul on the inbound called. And they're going to call that one on Webster. That'll be his third personal, but just the third team foul on Clovis. So they've still got fouls to give. Lovington up 38-37. 45 seconds remaining in the third. Arroyo into Tayden, gives it right back to Arroyo. Feeds it forward to Enriquez, pulls the three-point trigger, right wing, and bang! Mason Enriquez from the left wing drains the tray, 41-37. Lovington back up to a 4-point lead. Webster, kind of that almost a palm ball. Kind of that big, long, exaggerated step to Weiss. Underneath to Nora. Beautiful pass on the back door. And up and in for R.J. Nora from Weiss.
Yeah.
41-39. Into the front court. As it'll be Hilliard off of the arc, but right into the hands of Villalobos. Joey with his second, top of the arc. And bang as Julian Arroyo drains the tray. 44-39 and a home run pass at the buzzer. Nobody home, so incomplete. I know, wrong sport, but we go to the fourth. It's Lovington 44, Clovis 39. Back in a minute for the fourth here on KZOR. Welcome back to Lovington Wildcat basketball here on Z94 KZOR. Lovington takes the lead on Clovis 44-39. With Don Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle. Thanks for being with us as Lovington scoring 23 points in that quarter.
They were shooting 8 of 16, and so that does not count free throws.
Keeping it about 50-50. Yeah, they were 0 of 3 from the charity stripe. Has a little kick, no calls. They get it inside, try, and somehow Roberts will save it away for Clovis, and he's going to get bumped, and they're going to call an over the back or a reach on Enriquez. So for Mason, his second personal, but that's the 10th team foul, and so Clovis is shooting 2 from here on out.
Clovis shot 4 of 8 from the floor in that third quarter, and not counting free throws.
7 of 11 from the free throw line. So now Cash Roberts will go to the line.
Both teams shooting 50% from the floor, but Lovington taking twice as many shots at the basket, twice as many looks at the basket as Clovis in that third quarter.
Lovington forced 6 turnovers in that quarter, 17 total for Clovis. Right now 12 for Lovington. Second on the way for Roberts is up, and it is good. 44-42. Lovington going to have to be 41. Lovington going to have to be careful as Tayden Hilliard goes through, puts up a wild one. The circus shot falls. Tayden Hilliard with 10 points, and I didn't know the circus was in town.
Wow, yeah.
Foul going to be called on Roberts, his first personal, and Tayden heads to the line for the and one. Yeah, I didn't hear the, what is it, calliope? And one is up, and it's no good. And Nora with the rebound. That'll be his 8th. And the ball goes out of bounds. Nora got the rebound. And where are they going to point? And they're going to say last touched by Villalobos. It'll stay Clovis basketball. The Lovington faithful not liking that one. So Nora will inbound it. Gets it to Webster in the backcourt. Arroyo picks him up as he crosses into the offensive zone for Clovis. Gonna hand it off to Gutierrez, who fumbles around a little bit. Now hand it back to Webster, and they're gonna say he travels. That'll be the 18th turnover for Clovis. Give it back to Lovington, who's up 46-41. So 46-41. Inbound to Tayden Hilliard. Give it right back to Julian Arroyo. Arroyo uses up his dribble, still in the backcourt. He and Tayden going to have to get it across the timeline as they'll throw the fastball, and it is off the hands of Mason Enriquez. Mason not quite that tall, and into the hands of Nora to the front court. Lovington up by 5. To Gutierrez, who starts his drive in, bounces it off of the foot of Villalobos as he falls to the floor, and it'll stay Clovis basketball. 6:59 to go in the ball game. Clovis, I think, is probably going to start attacking because every foul is going to put them at the line, and they have done very well from the free throw line. So Webster, he'll go in, he'll attack, drive in, has a little room, and he'll get that one to bounce around home. 6 points for Luciano Webster. 46-43, 3-point Lovington lead. Arroyo tries to get it in. It is knocked away. Lovington having a little trouble all of a sudden with the pressure to Weiss. Feeds it inside, and Enriquez, a big hustle play, comes from the backside. Trails it, knocks away that pass. And now checking back into the ballgame will be Isaac Henson.
Stays Clovis basketball, but what a big punch out there.
Yes, it was. Gutierrez to inbound. He'll get it to Webster high. Backs it out of the high post between the rings. At center court to Weiss, who then gets a screen from Roberts. Toss it back. Roberts loses the handle on the basketball, and back down come the Wildcats. Hilliard with it, drives in, leaves it off for Perez, who short arms it, and into the hands of Weiss off the tip. Weiss is off and running, but it'll be knocked away by Henson. Another great hustle play as Perez got back there too. They were going to trap him up the minute he decided to breathe. So it'll stay Clovis basketball in the front court. 46-43, 3-point Lovington lead as Adam Aguilera back in the ball game for Mason Enriquez. So Coach Casey Pack going to put in Aguilera out there with 4. And Henson out with 3. He needs the D right now. Gutierrez to Weiss. Weiss back to Gutierrez, working the far side of the court. 6 minutes remaining in the ball game. Gutierrez trips to the floor. But golly, how many of those has it happened with Clovis where it goes right into one of their hands, and they're going to call a foul on Joey Villalobos as Roberts was flailing on the floor. So Joey picks up his 3rd personal, and so that'll put Roberts at the line to shoot 2. Joey was getting over. I think if he gives them another inch, I think the ball's in his hand and it's coming the other way. So Roberts at the line. This is what you don't want to see. 2
free-for-alls in a row with no whistle out of it, and then that happens.
Yeah, tic-tac. And I don't mean the candy as Robert gets the first one up and in. And cuts it down to a 2-point Lovington lead, 46-44. Those guys do have a hard job. I'm not complaining. Second one for Roberts is up, and that one is going to be off the mark. And Villalobos with the rebound, his 3rd. Leave it off for Tayden as Clovis will drop back in defense. 46-44. Hilliard to Henson for 3, and in and out. Ball is loose on the court, and somehow Gutierrez will come away with it. His first to a breaking Weiss, who misses it. And the trailer, though, is there, and Webster will get his first rebound and his 8th point of the ball game. And, we will have a huge collision as Nora crunches into Henson. The Lovington faithful want the intentional foul, the flagrant. I don't think they're going to get it. That'll be Nora's first personal. Henson checking to make sure he's still got all of his dental work over there. And, no flagrant going to be called. So it'll stay Lovington basketball tied at 46, 5.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Villalobos on the near side in front of the Lovington bench to Hilliard. Hilliard cycles it around, comes out between the rings. Out of Villalobos, bounce to Perez on the left base. Gonna just have to take it out. Aguilera near side to Henson. Henson, Villalobos, left wing for 3. That one is off the mark. Off of the tip, and it'll be Nora with the rebound, his 9th, but he goes hard to the floor, and they're gonna call timeout, I think. Yep, it'll be timeout taken by Coach Isler. 5:04 remaining in the ball game, all tied at 46, and we're back in 30 seconds on KZOR. Back here at Wildcat Gym, out of the timeout, it'll be Clovis basketball, all tied at 46. With Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle, Tiff Stuber in studio engineering and producing. Thanks for being with us here on Z94 KZOR and also on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. Please do subscribe to that YouTube channel. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we will give one random subscriber $100 in cash.
In this quarter so far, Clovis has taken 4 shots at the basket outside of free throws. They have made 3 of those. Lovington has taken 4 shots at the basket. They've made 1.
And so that's how we get tied at 46 as we hit the 5-minute mark. The inbound in the backcourt, almost a travel by Webster. As Aguilera on him very tight. Webster leaves it off for Nora in the deep right corner. They'll just have to reset it out to Weiss. Can the ref call a foul on himself? I don't think he can. So Webster loses the dribble, somehow gets it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez cycles it back around. Now they'll give it to Roberts in the left corner. His 3 ball is up, no good. Ooh. And Villalobos with the rebound, pushed it over to Isaac. Henson somehow controls it off of his somehow a little bit mangled grill.
Nice rebounding, though. Good
yes,
defensive
it
work.
was. And so they'll get it to Aguilera, right corner for 3, and that one is off the mark, and that'll get Nora his double-double, 12 points to go along with 10 rebounds. Still tied at 46. 4:15 to go. Nora drives in, pushes up with the left hand, won't fall, and the rebound going to be made by Perez. Got taken away from him by Roberts, but he is pushed by Roberts. That'll be his second personal, 6th team foul. So now Lovington will be in the bonus on the next foul. They've had their trouble from the line. They are 0 of 4 from the free throw line, so they're going to have to pretty much win this one from the floor, I think. Using up the dribble is Hilliard. Gets it back from Aguilera. Takes it underneath to a backdoor cutting Perez, who lays it up and in. Joseph has done that 4 times in this game, and he's got 8 points to show for it. Lovington back up 48-46, 3:45 to go in the ball game. Webster near side to Weiss, picks up the dribble, tosses over to Roberts, works it around to Nora, gets a screen from Roberts, drives into the low post, puts up a little underhand scoop, and it's good.
A teardrop floater there. It's nice.
14 points for Nora as Aguilera into the front court for Lovington, tied at 48. Adam takes it up himself, wild shot, it'll be into the hands of Weiss. Weiss weaves through traffic into the offensive zone, pushes off on Joey, but Joey had the feet moving, so they're going to whistle Villalobos for his 4th personal. And Clovis, hey, they're going to get contact any way they can because it stops the clock, and they're very good at the free throw line. So Weiss at the line where he is 3 of 4. And trying to give Clovis the lead back here late in this 4th quarter.
Just 3 minutes, 17 seconds left to play in the game.
First from Weiss is good. He's got 20 points in the ball game. Makes it Clovis 49, Lovington 48. Lovington trying to stop a 2-game skid. They don't want to make it 3. Going into Chaparral, down in Chaparral on Tuesday. So Weiss made the first, Will I the second. Puts it up and he gets them both. He's got 21, leads all scores. A 2-point lead for Clovis late. 3:15 to go in the ball game. To Hilliard near side. Gutierrez picks him up. Little shake and bake move to the right baseline. No call.
And nobody there for offensive rebound.
No call.
Nice
and a nice steal is back down the other way. And missing the point-blank layup are the Wildcats. And then we're going to have a foul called on the rebound. Lovington can't get a call as they're going to call the hack foul on Henson, his fourth personal. And so it'll be Nora to walk down.
Well, they've only made 2 of 9 attempts at shots, 2 of 9 shots.
So Nora, who is 4 of 6 from the line, but there was some contact under there against Henson that was not called.
True.
And we even breathe on a Clovis player.
But their shooting has just been really cold.
Yes, it has.
In this fourth quarter.
Nora makes the first. He's got 15 points in the ballgame, makes it a 3-point Clovis lead. 51-48. 20 turnovers for Clovis, but they've got the 3-point lead now with under 3 to play in the ball game. Second on the way for Nora, and that one is going to be short-armed. Dan Perez with the rebound for Joseph, his 7th. 51-48. Hilliard to the front court. He works against Nora. Bounce it over near side to Aguilera in front of the Lovington bench. Webster picks him up. Adam drives in, and finally a foul going to get called as Adam got creamed going to the hoop, and that'll call that on Webster, his 4th personal. 17 foul. The Clovis faithful not liking that one. The one the time before was more of a foul than that, but still. So Aguilera at the line puts up the first, and it is good. 7 points for Adam.
Some clutch free throw shooting here.
Definitely going to be needed. Lovington is in the bonus. So both teams finally in the bonus. But Lovington, that's their first made free throw in the ball game. And it comes with 2:42 to go in the ball game. Second is up, and Adam gets them both. He's got 8 points. 51-50, a timeout taken by Lovington. 2:42 remaining in the ball game. Clovis in the lead. We're back in 1 minute here on KZOR. The leading rebounder was Joseph Perez. He had 7 for the Wildcats. 25 rebounds collectively. He's all over 15 times. Scored 9 in the first, 12 in the second, 23 in the third, and then 13 in the fourth. The difference in the ball game as they win 57-55.
And really it made a huge difference to see them come out, and they came out in that third quarter very determined. They immediately started attacking, were much more aggressive, pressed, and saw the rate that they did come up with some good rebounds. Also, what really helped is that they did not turn over the ball as much. That's pretty low turnover. 15 full game. That's amazing. By contrast, I called a girls' game last night, and I think there were 15 turnovers by either team before the end of the first quarter.
I think you are absolutely right. So next up for the Lovington Wildcats, we'll have one more tune-up before district starts next Friday night. Lovington will travel to Chaparral on Tuesday. So best of luck to the Wildcats on Tuesday. We'll be back here at 5 Tuesday night as the Chaparral girls will take on the Lovington Lady Cats. That game is scheduled for 5:30. You'll be able to watch that game on the Lovington Sport YouTube channel on Tuesday night. And then, of course, district gets underway next Friday from Artesia. Girls first at 5:30 on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel, and the boys following around 7 o'clock on the YouTube channel, and here on C94 KZOR. So with that, my friends, we will put a wrap on this one, as it was a wild back and forth